Right, sir. Right. Okay. So sorry for yesterday. I think due to the festival on day before yesterday, I couldn't sleep on time, and the whole things got delayed. And it was too much late till I slept. Okay. So I couldn't wake up, and that's the reason why your got class got cancelled actually. Right, due to the festival activities. Right. Yeah. Right, sir. Good. So let us go back to our old class, last class, direct DevOps.blog. Okay. Oh, sorry, I have my bad, man. Azure Classroom Notes. So in the last class of Azure, I think we have discussed on the basic activities with respect to migration. What is this cloud adoption framework? And in cloud adoption framework, we have to look at adopt, and in the adopt phase, there is something called as migrate. Okay, so this guide gives us on the steps on what has to be migrated and all of that stuff, right? So these are the following steps which you might have. So assessing the assessing the workloads, deploying the workloads, and then releasing the workloads, right? So this is what we have discussed about, and then we have spoken about there are popularly two kinds of migrations if you basically cut down on all the other possibilities. One is physical to virtual migration. Azure is always a virtual space, so it is physical to virtual migration, or it is basically virtual to virtual migration, virtual to virtual migration, right? And in the class on one day earlier to that, or one day prior to that, sorry, one day prior to that, we have set up the Hyper-V. We have set up the Hyper-V, right? So on that Hyper-V, we were supposed to create virtual machines. So I think we have installed Chocolatey, and I've said that we want Choco install Vagrant-Y. So how many of you have this setup right now? Do you have this setup ready? Okay. One person says I have. How about others? Krishna has it. Yeah, I've told to delete the setup after migration. That's the reason why I'm asking how many of you have it. Otherwise, that would be my assumption. Okay. So, right. So if you don't have it, it's fine. But 1 minute. Let us get into the. Okay. Right. It's okay. So what I'll do is I'll take a Windows Hyper-V machine. Right. On this Hyper-V machine, I'll be creating. There will be one more Windows instance also. Right. Two Linux instances. And the Linux I would be using is, you can take any operating system, but I'll be taking CentOS 7. Okay. And in this, I'll be installing Tomcat server. Okay. So I'll take one more Linux. On this, I'll be installing again CentOS 7. You can install Ubuntu if you want, but I'll be installing CentOS 7. Okay. And on top of the CentOS 7, I'll be installing Nginx. Okay, and see, the whole idea is this is something where your application is running. So I'm installing application softwares, right? So then we want to move ahead, move this stuff into Azure. Okay, we'll have one Windows setup also, but right now I'm not having this. Okay, right. So Hyper-V, and then we will try to take this VMs over there. Okay, and then we'll have two Azure VMs. Okay, of whatever sizes that you might select. Okay, and in here, okay, let me basically draw some kind of correlation. This is your Tomcat machine, and this would be your Nginx machine. So we want to do some kind of migration. This is the basic setup which we want, and we will have one Windows machine in addition to this. Okay, right. So now the problem is creating virtual machines. Okay, migrations, me just copy path. Okay, Azure migration 8. Now I want to migrate this stuff. I want to migrate this stuff, right? So Azure migrate 2.md. All right. Preview dot slash images slash azmig8.png. Okay, right. Linux virtual machines on Hyper-V. Okay, right. Now let us come to our lab. In your organization, you will not have a problem because someone might have installed it. These applications might be running in your organization and all of that stuff. But when it comes to our case, in our case, we have to create this setup because we want to run through this migration. So I should be able to create virtual machines, and that too in a very simple way. So for that reason, okay. So to create the test virtual machines, we will be using Vagrant. We'll be using a tool called as Vagrant. So that will be our setup. For this lab purposes, we'll be using a tool called as Vagrant. So let us look at setup of this Vagrant tool. So you have installed Chocolatey, right? So in the last class, I've asked you to install Chocolatey. So Choco, sorry, Vagrant. Okay. So on that virtual machine, Hyper-V is enabled, and you are expecting a tool called as Vagrant. You are expecting a tool called as Vagrant. So Now I am doing this on my Windows system, but if you don't have the system, try to do it offline. If you have the system, you can continue along with me. Okay. So Choco install Vagrant -y. So it says you have Vagrant already installed. So I'll be doing one more thing. I'm installing this Vagrant too. Okay. So this is what you need to do. The first command is Choco install Vagrant. Once you install Vagrant, okay, and if you open PowerShell again, okay, if everything is installed correct, it will take some time for that command to be installing. Vagrant --- version should give you some value. Am I clear on this? Vagrant install should give you some kind of a version. Okay, so this software would take some time. Now let me try to tell you what this Vagrant does. Okay, how can Vagrant help? Okay, right. So okay, setup. Vagrant helps in creating virtual machines. Vagrant helps us in creating virtual machines. Okay, so once you have a Vagrant, okay, so the first one which we need to do is to set up Tomcat and CentOS 7 VM. This is what we need to set up, right? So for this, what I would do is, okay, right, C drive. Okay, let me try to see how much space do I have. Man, 1 minute, guys, just 1 minute. Let me free up some of the space. Okay, I got some of the space back. Okay, right. Now to set up this virtual machine, what I'll be doing is make their Tomcat folder. Now I'll be getting into Tomcat folder. So for the in the classroom, if there is anyone who doesn't know how to create virtual machines, okay, so I'll just show navigate to you creating virtual machine in Hyper or creating Linux virtual machine in Hyper. So the manual steps will look something like this. You need to go to Hyper-V and you need to perform all of these activities. Okay, so I'll be sharing you all of this stuff, but I'm just trying to show you what are the manual steps that are required. So easily Okay. Manual steps of creating virtual machines. So I can look into this if you have not done that. Okay. So now let me get into cd c:" temps folder, and there let me try to create a folder called as Tomcat. So let me get into Tomcat folder. Okay. And now what I can do with respect to this Vagrant is, where Vagrant will help me out a lot is, if I go to the web, okay, and then if I say Vagrant public boxes. Okay. So if I want any virtual machine, so for example, are you saying it has a concept called as, where do you want to run this? I want to run this on Hyper-V. So on Hyper-V, I have different images. So I also have an image which is CentOS/7. CentOS/7. So the only thing which I need to do is, I just need to know this name. I just need to know this name. Just copy this CentOS/7, and after that execute Vagrant init CentOS/7. Okay. Vagrant init CentOS/7. This is the most easiest way of creating virtual machines. It saves lots and lots of time. Okay. Now you have to just say Vagrant up. You have to just say Vagrant up. And before you do Vagrant up, remember one thing. Let me go back to the last class. In the last class, what we have done is, we have referred this for Hyper-V setup. And in this Hyper-V setup, if you remember, we have created, okay, virtual switch, which was called as internal NAT, right? If you remember, you have created the switch called as internal NAT. Okay. Now, whenever you do Vagrant up, it will ask you after some time. Okay. So, do you basically, which switch do you want to access if you are using Hyper-V? Okay. So, let me write that. Vagrant up. When asked about a network switch, select internal NAT. Okay. Right. Let me write assumption. Already Windows Server with Hyper-V up and running. Now, if you see, in my case, it has asked me all of this. In my case, it has asked me all of this. But in reality, if you have done this on your server, it would have asked, what switch would you like to go? You will try to choose any number that says internal NAT. So I'll be trying to choose Vagrant. Now, what is happening in the background is, your Vagrant is getting in sync, or is getting the work done by speaking with Hyper-V. Okay. So let us wait for this machine to work. Okay. Here in this list you are not seeing because I'm using my Windows laptop. If I would have done on my Windows server, I will be seeing internal NAT. That is the reason why you are not seeing it. Okay. So you are not seeing this because I'm using it on my Windows laptop, not on my Windows server. Okay. So let me show you internally what is happening. There will be something called as Hyper-V Manager. So in this Hyper-V Manager, a virtual machine is getting created. This is a virtual machine. Right now, this virtual machine should get an IP address. Should get an IP address. Okay. And that is what it is waiting for. Okay. And whether you get the IP address or not, what will be your IP address depends on what is your switch. If you remember, we have created something called as internal NAT. So if I select the same internal NAT, or if I try to create one more virtual switch called as internal NAT over here, I think I should be able to do the stuff. All right. So if you see Hyper-V didn't fail to recommend report the IP address of this machine. For this it is fine. I'm not worried. Okay. So now you have a virtual machine. If you double click into this, you can log in into this virtual machine, or you can use command line also. So if you see, the username of this will be Vagrant and password will be Vagrant. Now if you see, I have a Ubuntu machine ls. Okay. So ping google.com. Okay, so right now for me it is not working because I don't have a network connection correctly. So, but the whole point is not network now. Now what I can do is I can basically say Vagrant destroy. So Vagrant init, Vagrant up, and Vagrant destroy. That's it. So create a virtual machine. Okay, by using Vagrant up, you will get the virtual machine, and once you get the virtual machine, basically you can do whatever you want in that virtual machine. You can change the configuration. Once you have done the work, it is all about using a very simple destroy command. Okay, so to delete the virtual machine, use Vagrant destroy. So very simple way of basically looking at it. Okay, right. Now generally in Hyper-V you'll have lot of virtual switches. You will have lot of virtual switches, right? Fine. And now you can use anything that makes sense to you. You can use anything that makes sense to you, right? So I had selected a Vagrant. Okay, my Vagrant says about this. Okay, so I think I can, if I select this. Okay, if I click on yes, I'll be disconnected and reconnected. Okay, right. So now let me try to do the same thing again. Okay, Vagrant up. This time it will be faster than what it was last time. Okay, but you have to remember only one thing. While creating this machine, in our case, you have to select the internal NAT. Yeah. So if you see over here, again the virtual machine is starting, whatever we have destroyed. So once this virtual machine gets start, and if they see some kind of an IP address over here, then that is a point where you will be able to make the communication. The status is okay. It has not reported the IP address yet. This should get an IP address. If this virtual machine will not get an IP address, Hyper-V will treat it as failure. And right now, it is trying to acquire the IP address. Now, if you see, it got the IP address. Once it gets the IP address, then it is trying to get inside this. The username will be Vagrant and password will be Vagrant. Okay. Now, if needed. Okay. So, right. Now, let's install Tomcat. Okay. So sudo yum. Let me write the execute the commands and then write it, because I don't want to search commands in the documentation. Okay, right. So once you have this machine created, okay, you can log in into your machine from here. Double click this machine, log in from here. Or Vagrant gives you one command called as Vagrant SSH. Okay. So this command might or might not work in Windows Server, right? So if you see, I'm inside the Ubuntu machine. I'm inside the, oh sorry, CentOS machine. Okay. Now, let me try to see if I'm able to ping to Google or not. So that means my network connectivity is there. That is first check. And then sudo yum search jdk. So to install Java, let us try to see what are the versions that they have. So I can basically use any command to basically try to find out and search the Java installation command straight away. But I want you to use this search commands. Okay. So if you start using the search commands, there is no need for you to remember any particular command's name or particular package's name and all that stuff. We can always search for the things. This will be a little bit slow because this is not running on the cloud. This will be a little bit slow. Yeah. First of all, it is not the context which I'm interested in, Abdul Alim, right? If you really want to look into, you can go to Google and try to type Vagrant multi-box setup or a Vagrant multiple VM setup. Then every VM will have some kind of a name. Okay. So I'm going to use this develop version. Okay, or I can use this OpenJDK also. Right. So sudo yum install. Okay. This command will take some time. See, if you look into migration, migration is not a very what do you call intelligent person's kind of an activity, but it is an activity where you need to follow the document, you need to have patience, right? So this is the only time in this whole Azure cycle where you have to wait for a lot of things to happen. Wait for a lot of things to happen. If you have a system, I think you can also execute this command. Uh, these are time-taking commands, man. These they take a lot of time. Uh, Is installing Java necessary for migrating VMs? Not necessary, but installing any applications is necessary, right? So do you want me to migrate plain Linux VMs, which will migrate anyway without any issues? Do you want me to do that? That will not help, right? So generally, whenever you take a virtual machine, you will have some kind of an application, and that's the reason why we are installing some application over here. Right. Thanks. Thanks. These are time-taking activities, but going down the line also we'll have lot of activities where we have to wait for decent amount of time. Okay, you might not be doing anything, but in the background, a lot of things are happening. So right now, I've just executed one command. Okay, and then it is trying to do something. Oh man, estimated time is too much. Okay, let me do one thing while that estimated time is doing its job. Okay, so let me go ahead and do the same activities. Okay, and C drive attempts. One is Tomcat, the other one which I wanted was Nginx, right? So cd c colon attempts make their Nginx. So cd Nginx. Here also I'm trying to tell vagrant init CentOS slash 7. Okay, I am trying to say vagrant up. So there are two activities that are happening parallelly. Okay, let me make a note of it. The second VM which I wanted to basically speak about. Okay, Tomcat VM setup. Okay, man, I have installed 1.6. Is it? Just 1.8 is what I should be. Okay, right. I'll correct it at a later point of time. Fine. So let me speak about Nginx. Okay, VM setup. So here I don't think so. There is no need for me to write the commands. Okay, commands are make dir Nginx, create a folder called as Nginx, get into that Nginx folder, and then say vagrant init. Oh, sorry, one more. I have to switch on the electricity. Right. Okay. So vagrant init CentOS slash 7 vagrant up. Choose the suitable driver. Okay. Now after that, once everything is done correctly, if it is up, vagrant ssh, and then sudo yum search nginx. Okay, and then install nginx. Okay, so for installing nginx, the command as per my knowledge is sudo yum install nginx itself. That's it. Okay, so this is what you need to do, but these commands, right, they take time, and that's the only problem, right? Okay, so now if you see, it is asking me what is my virtual machine, our switch. So in this machine I'm selecting vagrant, but in reality I should be selecting internal NAT on the machine, on the Hyper-V server which we have created. The reason why I'm showing you all of this is in the next class, I think you should be coming up. Okay, we'll be starting our Azure Migrate project where we'll be starting assessment of these two Linux VMs. Discovery and assessment are two major activities, right? Initially, right? We'll be doing that. Okay. Now Vagrant SSH. This is the Nginx machine. Okay. All right. Now sudo yum search Nginx. So when you do the same thing on Azure cloud, it will not be taking this much of time because there the network will be much better than what I'm trying to do right now. Okay. So, oh no, we don't have it as it. So let us install Apache in that case. Okay. I don't want to basically make it complicated for you. Okay, by adding some more repositories. Okay, HTTPD and yum install HTTPD. Okay, install Apache. Right. So if you know Linux, you can install basically the Nginx. But if you don't know it, just say sudo yum install HTTPD, which is installing Apache server. Okay. So this will take its own time. And by the way, we are done on the other machine where Java is installed. So Java hyphen version. Okay. But this is a very old version. Ideally, I wanted this to be Java hyphen 1.8.0. Okay. Right. Okay. Now in the same way, I'll try to search sudo yum search Tomcat. So if you see, I have all of this. I'll be installing this Tomcat. I'll be installing this Tomcat. Okay. But before I install that, I need to actually execute sudo yum. Right. Okay. Now on this machine, this is done. So if this is done correctly, if you remember the IP address of this machine, whatever I got is okay. Let me basically go through it. Nginx. For Nginx, the IP address which I got is 0.1111. So let me try to access that. 192.168.0.111. Okay, right. So right now it is not accessible. Right? Why it is not accessible? Let us see. So sudo service httpd start. Let me try to see if something happens over. Are you seeing this page? So this is a measure that your Apache is installing. Apache is installing, right? So sudo service httpd start. Okay, right. Okay, fine then. All right. So Fine. You have to wait for these things to happen. That's it. Now, if you have this setup, you have two virtual machines with some softwares running in them. Now, let me look at some of the questions that are being asked. Okay, right. While that, sir, Shravan, I think in the lab, I'm quite sure that you will not have a patience of creating 30 VMs to test if the migration works or not. But for the lab purposes, if you want to create 30 VMs, you have to go through the same pain. There is no doubt about it. But in your organization, there will be VMs that are running your applications already. మీ ఆఫీస్లో VM ఆల్రెడీ అప్లికేషన్ రన్ చేస్తున్నాయి, మీరు క్రియేట్ చేయరు. ఓకే, రైట్. Why didn't you install Tomcat and Nginx on a Windows server other than personal laptop? Sir, I have installed Tomcat and Nginx on personal laptop today because I'm interested in steps. I want you guys to do the Windows server part. Okay, right. You ensure that you have it before you come to the tomorrow's class. That is the setup. Okay, that is why I'm not showing on the Windows server. I want you guys to work. So if you don't have this setup, there is no point in attending tomorrow's class because tomorrow's class is completely practical. Okay, so you have to do this stuff. So you need to have two Linux virtual machines which are running on your Hyper-V server, Okay, so have this setup because I want, see, if you want to learn migration, you have to do along with me. That's the only logic over here. Yeah, right. So this the activity will obviously take time. Okay, but after it has finished, okay, you have to basically, in this case, I have gone to http:// IP address. Here I'll be trying to tell http: IP address : 8080 because Tomcat runs on 8080 port. Tomcat runs on 8080 port. Okay, so tomorrow before attending the class, okay, my whole idea is, okay, ensure you have this lab setup ready. Okay, as in next class we will be creating the Azure Migrate project, and we will be starting the assessment of the virtual machine. Okay, we'll be starting the assessment of the virtual machine. So this is what we'd be doing tomorrow. So tomorrow your class will not be, you will not be able to work it out if you don't have this setup. Okay, and it is all about installing softwares and executing very basic commands. So sudo systemctl okay, let me also write that. So you have to blindly follow this document. In your organization, you might be following your your application installation if or your application might be ready actually, but the whole idea is you should be able to do that stuff. Right? So this shows that it takes 10 minutes. So there is no need for you to wait, but ensure that you have this stuff created. And tomorrow I want you to have a Hyper-V server with Vagrant installed and two virtual machines running, because tomorrow we'll be starting the first phase of Discover or Azure Migrate, which is creating the Azure Migrate project and starting the assessment. Clear on this? Okay. So today is like a lab session for you, and you are expected to do this before you come to the next class. Okay, because tomorrow also in when I'm doing VMware migration, I'll try to create the similar VMs. Right, guys? I'm not getting any response. So are you busy working, or are you not doing anything? Right. So I'm installing two softwares at one shot, sir. Bhuvnesh, if I've added couple of them, that means that I'm installing two softwares at one shot. Yeah, right. Yeah, please ensure that you have this set up before tomorrow's class so that uh, we can basically continue with the phases of Azure migration. Phases of Azure migration. Clear? Right. So I'll stop it at that, and this activity will take time. Okay. So please try to have this setup. So don't tell any excuses tomorrow. You are supposed to have this setup, right? Yeah. Okay, sir. So that is what I had for the day, and tomorrow we'll be continuing this migration. Right. Tomorrow I'll have this setup on Windows Server, and I'll be starting the Azure migrate and assessment. Right. If you have this setup, you can also set it up along with me. Otherwise, you will be lagging behind, and lagging behind in migration is not a good sign. Yeah, because it is not a logical activity. Yeah. Okay. Right, sir. Thanks.